Donald Trump was just snubbed at G7 as other world leaders received a different welcome. July 18, 2026. President Donald Trump appeared to receive a noticeably cooler greeting than several other world leaders during the G7 summit in France. World leaders gathered in Avion-les-Bains on Tuesday, June 16, for the first full day of a three-day summit centered on some of the world's geopolitical issues. The G7 consists of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Ukraine is not a member, but Zelensky was invited to attend. Several partner nations, including Brazil, India, Kenya, and South Korea, are also taking part in selected summit discussions. As leaders made their way into one of the working sessions, a video showed Donald Trump walking ahead of French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. After arriving at a large table in the center of the room, the U.S. president briefly stood by himself and looked around before Macron and Zelensky joined him. 67th Summit in France. The moment that drew attention came when European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen approached the group. Von der Leyen first greeted Trump with a handshake and exchanged a few words before moving on. Moments later, she greeted Macron with a smile, opened her arms, and exchanged kisses on both cheeks, according to VT. Photos also showed von der Leyen warmly embracing both Zelensky and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. During a bilateral meeting with Macron on Monday, June 15, Trump said he had recently spoken with both Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now that this, Iran, is finished, we're going to be focusing on that, Trump said, referring to the war in Ukraine, according to VT. In addition to Ukraine, leaders are holding discussions focused on ending crises and ensuring stability in the Middle East. Representatives from Egypt, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates are expected to participate in those talks. We are committed to playing our part. The summit comes at a time of heightened tensions between Trump and several U.S. allies. Trump has reportedly clashed with multiple world leaders over his decision to launch military action against Iran. Trump has also threatened potential consequences over their lack of support. Despite their differences, leaders are expected to seek common ground during the summit on issues such as rising oil prices and disruptions to shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Before the summit, France, Germany, Italy, the United Kingdom, and Canada praised the United States, Iran, and diplomatic mediators for what they called a diplomatic breakthrough. This is a moment of opportunity to restore regional stability and stabilize the global economy, the statement read. It is now vital that the detailed negotiations are concluded and this agreement is implemented rapidly and comprehensively. We are ready to support that effort. The urgent reopening of the Strait of Hormuz with unconditional and unrestricted freedom of navigation is essential. We are committed to playing our part to achieve this in accordance with our respective constitutional requirements, including through a strictly defensive and independent mission to reassure commercial shipping and conduct mine clearance operations. By Newsner Stories, story by Frida Lilchfers, June 18, 2026.